Hey friends, Graham here from therecordingrevolution.com. Hope you're having a great day. Quick mixing tip for you today. I'm in the middle of a mix and I took a moment to share this with you. This little technique has helped me get my EQ balance right, get clarity in my mixes, and pretty much guarantee that I get every track to pop out and cut through the mix the way I want. It's so ridiculously simple. I wish I could say I came up with it, but I didn't. It's called the prioritizing track principle, or the prioritizing tracks secret. And I learned this from my buddy Kevin Ward over at mixcoach.com. So go show him some love. He's got a great site and he is a fantastic mixer and great teacher. So here's the deal. When you're mixing things like guitars, let's say you got a bunch of guitars in your track and you got to get them all to cut through nicely, and you got rhythm guitars, you got lead guitars, some are clean, some are overdriven, a wall of guitars, and they all kind of wash together. Kevin has this weird way of thinking about it. He basically tries to ask while he's EQing. He's closing his eyes for a moment and he's listening to the song and he's saying, if every guitar track in this mix was represented by a different player, so each track was played by a different person in this made-up band, and each of those players' moms came into the studio and sat down and they were listening to your mix, could mom hear her son or daughter playing that guitar part? If she listened to the mix, could she pick out her own kid's guitar playing? Okay? Very, very simple, and it's just another way of getting you to say, or forcing you to think about, can I distinguish each track in the mix currently? As a whole, what matters is, does the whole mix work well and do I jive with it? But in those moments where you're doing EQ, which hopefully you're doing in mono, you want to be able to answer that question. Yes, mom can hear that guitar player, mom can hear that guitar player, mom can hear that kick drum, mom can hear that keyboard part, mom can hear that background vocal. Now, not everything needs to be at the same volume or as featured or as present, but if you can't hear a part, if you can't distinguish the part that is your kid or your mother's kid, then the EQ isn't right. So what this hack does is it forces you to prioritize your mind and focus. It's a very, very basic concept, but when you're EQing, you slap it into mono and you start to think, can I pinpoint that guitar part? I know it's there because if you solo it, you hear it, but when you bring it in the mix, does it disappear? If it disappears and you're like the mom that says, hey, I can't hear my kid, turn him up. Or maybe you have this experience with your band, your bandmates are behind you and they're saying, hey, turn up my bass, I don't hear enough of it. You basically want to put yourself in their shoes. They're biased, they want to hear the track they want to hear because it's their kid or it's their own part. And so for a moment, you need to put yourself in those shoes and you need to be biased like them. And you need to think, can I hear that part? If I can't, it's not EQ'd right. It's that simple. And if you would ask yourself those questions, then you would never get to the point of delivering a mix that's not EQ'd right. You would always stick in the EQ phase as long as it takes to get it right. And sometimes it's longer than you think. So think like a mom, think like your dad, think like your bandmate that just wants to hear their own track turned up. Pause for a moment and make sure, can I hear that track? Can I distinguish it out of the rest of the tracks? And if not, why? What is covering it up? What's masking it? What do I got to do to fix it? It's very, very simple. Thank you, Kevin, for keeping things simple. I appreciate simple. Hopefully that'll help you in your mixes. I got to go mix. Talk to you guys later.